wasn't my song.
It's the outro.
Well, that's okay, all right? My story starts when I was 12 years old with my best friend, Danny Bear, when we made our first go-kart. Back then, go-karts were made out of wood, okay? There was no steering wheel. It was a rope, okay? And you twisted to the right, to the left. That's how you went down, and you got pushed with a broomstick. And I remember when we went down a hill, and I had that exhilaration of going fast, right? I said to myself, I want to drive a race car, okay? I don't know how it's going to happen, but I want to do that, okay? Well, fast forward, 45 years later, that made me 57, I had an opportunity. And so I had a friend of mine, he lent me his race car, his race suit, his shoes, gloves, all fireproof, and only thing I had to get was a helmet. Well, I went to the helmet store, okay? There is such a thing, by the way, all right? And the minute I tried the helmet on, my nemesis came rushing into my little small brain, and it told me, you can't drive a race car. You're claustrophobic. You'll die in that tin coffin. And I took the helmet off. I paid the guy. Took the helmet home. And for 2 days, I put the helmet on, took it off, put it off. Finally, at the end of the second day, I was able to conquer Mr. Claustrophobia. I had it. And then we go to class, right? Saturday morning. You're in there, they're teaching you how to drive the car, when you should be shifting this, that, and the other thing, right? And then I had the opportunity for the very first time to sit behind a real race car. It's absolutely phenomenal. I'm telling you, until, okay, they have this 5-point harness thing, okay, that keeps you in your seat, right? I had one guy come in through the passenger, one guy come in through the driver's window, and they grabbed my straps, and they cinched me down so tight, I lost all my breath. It's totally gone. And I couldn't breathe, okay? And they're out there going, hey Turk, you're okay? And I'm trying to get this full smile. Because I know that I'm going to drive out of sight, right? And I'm going to unloosen these. You know? So I drive away, okay, and I get out on the track. Now you have to understand, this is not like regular racing. This is a road course. There's 10 different turns. There's elevation changes. It's insane. It's so different. So we go around, we do the warm-up, and I'm loving life, right? Because I can breathe, right? I'm over the helmet thing, all right? We come out of turn 10, all right? Shifted into third, into the wind we go, about 150 miles an hour before I get to turn 1. And it's a sharp right-hand turn. And I made that right-hand turn, and I'm over here now. Oh, right. Then we get to turn 3, it's left hand, I'm over here now. Okay? And then we get to the S's, okay? I'm all over, the elevation changes. I'm getting knocked around like I'm in a dryer, okay? And not to mention the fact there's guys behind me who actually know how to drive, okay? Banging me in the ass, okay? I got no place to go. It's a mess, okay? So I'm trying to downshift. I'm trying to drive. So I take this hand, hit the gas, and I sit down. Then I do this one, and it took me about a lap and a half. And then before you knew it, right, there I was. okay, cinched in there, as tight as could be, and I felt good. It was awesome, right? Well, I overcame this claustrophobia, right? There you go, buddy. Forget about it. So, fast forward 4 years, okay? Right at the same track. Now I'm racing, okay? I'm like in the middle of the pack. I'm doing pretty well. You gotta understand, there's 14-year-old kids that are leading this. You know, that's how late I got to the game. But here's the deal. We come around that warm-up lap, came out of turn 10, everybody's into the wind. I look down, I'm doing 167, it's just great. I downshift into third, then into second. I make that right-hand turn, okay? And right there in my path is a car that spun out and it's drifting into my lane. I don't know, should I go left, should I go right? Should I go left, should I go right? Well, I went left. And immediately after going left, I heard the god-awful sound of metal on metal, okay? Which means I hit another car, okay? And in typical New York fashion, I just said, fuck me. This is gonna be expensive. And I tried to shoot the gap, but he hit me, and what happened? I wound up hitting the car I was initially trying to avoid. And the next thing, it's pavement, sky, pavement, and then nothing but dirt, rock, gravel. Broken glass comes in and hits me in the face. Pavement, sky, pavement, and the car, I thought, was going to come to a stop. And I put my hands up over my head onto the roof, and I put my left hand out. Wouldn't you know it? That fucking car moved one more time, and it landed on my hand that was extended out. It crushed my hand. But I knew it was not going to be good, but the pain was pretty dull because Mr. Claustrophobia had come back. He's having a field day in my head, okay? He said, I told you 4 years ago, you're gonna die in this car, in this tin coffin. And I can't breathe, and I'm trying to get myself squared away, and I'm kind of pissed that I'm here. And then there's people on the outside, they're barking instructions. I can't hear what the fuck they're saying. And then I had to try, and then the worst was I started to smell gasoline. And let me tell you something, people, you don't want to die in a fire, all right? That's bad. And if it happened, I couldn't even get to the handle to let the extinguishers do their job. So I got to worry about that. And then you hear the people outside, remain calm. And I'm like, fuck you, you're not in here. Shit, you have any idea what I'm going through? You don't even know I'm claustrophobic, you know? And I had this guy in my head, and he's screaming. So I took a deep breath, and I tried to calm myself down, and I relied on all of my military and 30 years as a cop. And I said, I'll be okay. And then I heard some of the worst news ever. The lady goes, we can't get you out, Turk. And I go, what? And I go, we can't unbuckle you. Holy shit. Well, let me tell you what. Fuck that. I grabbed that buckle, I ripped it open, and I came loose, and I fell on my head. Okay? Because I was upside down, you know? That's what happens. All right? And I crawled, okay, because now I could start to breathe, and I crawled to the passenger window. And this is going to give you a glimpse of what I'm really like, because I just went from total catastrophe to the point that I was going to lose my life and get burned in a car. and I look out the window on my hands and knees, and I see all these other race car drivers and a ton of people. And just then, I don't know why, but as I entered out and I started to wave, I felt like I was one of the astronauts coming out of the capsule with the helicopter, and you wave, right? Because shit, they had no idea what the hell was going on inside there, right? Right? I got this beat, and so I wave, okay? And to make a long story short, okay? Probably should have said that at the beginning. But here's the deal, okay? I went to the care center. They didn't do shit for me. and I had to go and tell them about the accident. And I drove myself 2 hours to Fairfax Hospital, where they told me that I stood a 50-50 chance that the finger that was severed and completely left in my glove, that if they sewed it back on, it may not take. But I'm here to tell you, 7 weeks later, I was back in the race car racing, and I'm also proud to tell you that I never lost this finger.